Hi, I'm Rowena from McMorgan Next Practice Marketing, and this video we're going to talk about the fifth stage of design thinking, which is around prototyping. So why do we do prototyping? Well, it's because we want to understand, is our innovation or idea, is it actually valuable? Is it adding value to the consumer and definitely going to be an innovation that will succeed? And by prototyping, we actually get more feedback and learning that means we can reduce the risk as well as increasing the value to the consumer, increasing our chances of success. So why do we take this approach and how is it different to traditional innovation? Well, previously, we've usually thought about innovation as being quite linear, where you take an idea and then you work through that idea, and it can often take 18 to 24 months to come to market. But because there are so many constraints along the way, it actually may not be valuable to the consumer by the time it launches. And this is a really big issue for a lot of businesses who aren't using design thinking. On the other hand, design thinking doesn't say we have the one answer. It actually says, let's explore a number of different ideas, and along the way, let's understand what we learn. So it could be that we learn multiple things about the prototypes, and that insight comes together in a way that helps us to improve it overall. So again, we're not assuming we have the answer. We continue to test, gain feedback, and understand how to make this more and more valuable as we go. So what are the different ways that you can prototype? Well, if you think about the approaches, there are three key approaches. The first is around A/B. Now, this is where you have two different prototypes, you put them both out there and see which one does better. Quite simple in terms of testing which one is best. The second approach is around testing in market. And you would take this approach if you wanted to get feedback on different features, and you can continue to test. So this happens a lot with apps as they continue to upgrade, test new features, and then upgrade again. And then the third one is called Wizard of Oz. A little bit different, but this is where you actually tell the consumer what the functionality is because you just can't make it. And maybe that's because the technology doesn't yet exist, but you basically bring it to life for them in a way that they can imagine and give you feedback on how it's valuable, even though it doesn't exist. So the other way that you can think about prototyping is the execution. So what are the key ways you can execute? Well, there's sketching. So how do you bring to life your idea through sketches so people can understand the different ways it works and the value it brings? Another approach is through Lego. Building it in a way that people can really understand what it looks like. A third way is through a physical model. Now, this may not actually be in final materials. For example, you may create a backpack out of cardboard, but showing the different design elements, the different pockets and features it has, so the consumer can give feedback. And then a final way is around role playing. So even though you may not have a physical prototype, you can role play what it looks like, what the benefits are, and how it adds value to the consumer's life. So prototyping is a really, really important part of the design thinking process because it means we can consistently learn, get feedback, make our innovations bigger and better, and give them a much better chance for success.